Good afternoon, everyone. As we're here remembering and renewing our spirits, I would like to begin by saying a very good thank you to the Ambassador Matilda Mukantabana for all your hard work. The Ambassador took a group of us from the Congressional Black Caucus in AIPAC to Rwanda, where we witnessed firsthand what Rwanda went through in its great transformation. That trip was a trip that will always stay dear in my heart. Seeing the atrocity that happened, the genocide against the Tutsi, was heartbreaking. Understanding the work that needs to be done to make sure we continue to move forward, I think was the most important thing we took back. Our commitment to make sure that we never experience this ever again is one that was fortified during this trip. And so I thank my colleague Jonathan Jackson, who was on the trip with us, because both of us on Foreign Affairs have made that solemn commitment that we will continue to support Rwanda and we will continue to make sure that this never happens again. We gather here today to mark 30 years since the horrendous 1994 genocide against the Tutsis, a time that altered the course of history, not just for Rwanda, but for the world. Devastating loss of life, 1 million people were slaughtered, and as many as 250,000 women were raped. We convene in remembrance and with a shared commitment to ensure that peace and unity prevail to shape a harmonious future. When I recently traveled to Rwanda, and I'm excited to travel back, the prospect of returning in my mind makes me excited to see how far Rwanda will continue to go. I was tremendously impressed by your administration's progress on the development front, combating corruption and improving governance. I commend President Paul Kagame and the Rwandan people for their leadership and commitment to building the Rwanda we see today. From ashes to economic development, Rwanda serves as a model for other countries. Some may say that Rwanda is an African miracle, but to me, it's not a miracle. Rather, it is a product of leadership in action. It's not just a product of leadership in action, but it's actually seeing a democracy at work. The story of Rwanda's resurgence firmly underscores the lessons that people in peace is not in the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice and diversity and human dignity. As I travel the continent of Africa, and I even travel the Caribbean, the one thing I hear from everyone is, how can we be like Rwanda? How can we pick ourselves up from an economy, from a ruler who is being unjust or some kind of devastation? How can they live in a thriving democracy and rebuild themselves to be like Rwanda? That is a beautiful legacy that we've been able to see Rwanda become who she is today within 30 years. So as we remember all of the terror and the attacks and the victims, let us celebrate how far Rwanda has come. Let us celebrate who Rwanda is to the entire world, especially the African world and the Caribbean world. A beacon of hope, a beacon of light, a beacon of truth, a beacon of honesty, a beacon of how you can come together in peace, actually give justice to the people who were harmed, actually giving hope to the people who were in the conflict, to sit side by side now and celebrate a democracy, a thriving democracy. So I look forward to being here. 30 years from today, I probably then would be like 90, but I do look forward to being here at that moment where we can tell our children and our grandchildren what happened to Rwanda, how Rwanda overcame, and how Rwanda now is thriving, how Rwanda is one of the jewels of Africa. And I'll be proud to say that I remember when I spoke to President Paul Kagame, and he was able to talk about how Rwanda overcame. I will tell my children stories of what I saw at the different museums and the tenacious people I spoke to and how they survived. This is a moment in history for all of us. And I thank you for allowing us as members of Congress, us as Americans, to take part in this moment so we can continue to celebrate your legacy. So as we renew our commitment, as we remember, let us also find hope for the future, even the future in the US, because Rwanda, if Rwanda can get through it and be where they are today, we can get through this moment also in the United States. So thank you for being a beacon of hope for us also. Thank you.